When did the Wampa obsession start?
This is hilarious. There's a whole like 8-minute video just so I could get some people off my back about it.
I sense someone who did not like and subscribe. Hello there, everybody. It's me, your Star Wars dad, and I'm here today with your favorite content creator for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, the one and only, the Wampa man himself, PhatPhil. How you doing, buddy?
I don't know about... I'm good. I think favorite's a bit of a stretch here, but I do appreciate the intro.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just glad to spend some time with you. You know, I do this Dad Talk series, so these collabs, it's always kind of interesting. I don't know if you talk to other people about collabs, but you got to find something to talk about, and it's like, are we forcing a conversation, or are we not, or whatever?
Yep.
Yeah, so for me, it's like us talking here it just fits naturally into my Dad Talk series for me.
Oh, perfect.
So all right, here's my very first question for you is when did and I don't know, maybe I haven't followed closely. When did the Wampa obsession start? What's the story with that, and where did it come from, and where's it going?
This is hilarious. There's a whole like 8-minute video just so I could get some people off my back about it. But it started so this is going way back for people who don't remember this, but when Wampa first came out, he was a get one reward for the new Hoth territory battle. And he wasn't a requirement for anything, so it was just like this achievement to get Wampa.
Yep.
And so I got him because I was like, why not? And then you found these niche, like Wampa was part of the team that I would solo the tank raid with before relics, because you'd use him with Vader and he'd ramp damage, and so that was fun. And then even when I came back to the game after a very long break, he'd still solo all the Phoenix teams, still solo all these random teams in GAC. And then he got his Omicron, and then it was like a no-brainer. So just continually praise Wampa for all the great things he's done for my account.
Praise Wampa. Praise Wampa. I gotta tell you, I was an early Wampa guy too, so I had my original account, which I no longer have, and it was probably, it would be right in line with your account here. And when I handed it off to somebody else to manage, I had 4 GLs at the time. But back when when Darth Revan was the meta, I kind of refused to do it just because I wasn't a big spender, and you know, I just wasn't doing that kind of stuff. And so I had Wampa, and I was running is it Darth Revan? I don't know, Jedi Revan Darth, whatever it was. I was running like Rex, Wampa, Thrawn, and I put together like a, you know, back when you could do stuff like that, I put together this, this just total theory crafted team, and it was about, I don't know, you'd run 50-60% against the Revan meta, but that was good enough for me to climb an arena every day and then just watch myself dive down in the 20s, and when it mattered, we know when squad arena mattered. So I was an early Wampa adopter as well, so it's good to meet another person for that. Let me ask you this. So you said you had Wampa before, you took a big break. Tell me about the big break, because I've had big breaks, and I've been talking to a lot of people lately about that left the game at one point and have come back after even years away from the game. So what was your big break about?
So it was right after Bosk was released. So Houndstooth and Bosk were in the game, and I think Bastila had just come in, and I was just kind of burnt out at that point. I was still top in Fleet Arena at that point. Wasn't really climbing in Squad Arena. I was a non-issue for Squad Arena, but Fleet Arena I could always keep up with. And then, I don't know, I just got bored of the Hoth territory battle, and with a new job and everything else, I was kind of like, you know what, I'm going to put Star Wars to the side. So I took a break from then, and then it's embarrassing to say this, but yeah, it was April 2020 when my friend convinced me to come back because it was quarantine and nobody else had anything to do, so download Star Wars again, and so came back with 3 million GP, and my arena team was a 5-star Traya, a 5-star Scion, and like 7-star Nihilus.
Nice. I think the pandemic did it for a lot of people, you know, and
yeah,
you know, we're out of it now, but I see a lot of it too. And I don't know if you relate to this, because you're, you know, I could probably be your dad. I'm assuming I'm of an age, I guess. But
I think you're a little bit young.
Well, you know, but I see a lot of people that started when they were maybe 15, 16, 17, and the game didn't really hold their attention. And it's like you could go and play Minecraft, or you could go and play Battlefront for 3-4 hours straight, and then all of a sudden you got a job, you got a kid, and you can pick up Galaxy Heroes and you can go escape to the bathroom for 15 minutes and play it in there. Or like you mentioned a minute ago before we got on that you play your grand arenas with your baby in your lap. So it maybe fits more into that dad mold. What I mean, does that have anything to do with it?
Yeah, oh for sure. Like I haven't played a console game since I've been a dad. I mean, even before that, it definitely had tapered off, but I have not played a console game since I've been a dad. Like, it just doesn't happen. So the phone game is, once they fall asleep, it's a lot easier that I don't gotta set them down, turn on anything. You just pull out the phone, and you're playing one-handed half the time, too, which is a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, tell me about... we'll get into your roster a little bit, but tell me about what's your Star Wars story? When did you fall in love with Star Wars? How did it come about, and how did you get to where you are today?
Oh man, so yeah, my dad was not a Star Wars fan, so I don't know how my brother and I actually got there, but I like to say that I'm at least old enough that I saw all of the original trilogy before I saw any of the like prequels. So it was fun kind of growing up. Like I was too young to see Phantom Menace in theaters, but I saw all the rest of them in theaters growing up. But I'd owned all the originals, so like I had the VHS where Han shot first and everything. So, I'm a little bit old school that way. That the original trilogy is still my favorite of all time.
Yeah, the VHS where Han shot first, right here. There it is.
Yes,
on my shelf.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Now I gotta find a VHS player.
When Palpatine was still a woman, in Empire Strikes Back kind of thing.
It was no woman. What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was an actress that played the Emperor in that. Like, if you go back to the original, I'm pretty sure it was an actress. It definitely was not Ian McDermott in that one.
Well, I remember that he wasn't the voice. It was somebody else on the voice, but I didn't know that they had dressed up, because the original Palpatine was like really just like really old person with really baggy eyes. That was all it basically was.
Yeah. It was really. I would have sworn it. I would have put money that it was a woman. I swear I heard that somewhere. Maybe I'm, preaching false.
No. Hey, I'm on board. I mean, I didn't know that, but yeah, I mean, my buddy and I used to watch him. He would spend the night. And we would just throw on Empire Strikes Back and make fun of it for hours because you get to know a movie enough. You're just kind of mocking Luke for all the dumb things he does all the time. So. So tell me about your roster. You came back in April 2020. Your count was 3 million. You probably were just kind of, and you had left at the time of Hoth territory battles. So it had been years. I mean, you're talking probably you've been off for maybe a year or two at the time. And yeah. You came back into it. What was your ramp up period like? As you ramped back into the game, you got into a guild. How did that work for you?
Yeah, it was really. I got into a guild. It was like 100 million. I still talk to like 2 of the guys that was in that original guild. We're not in the same guild anymore, but I still talk to them regularly. So I came in and I was getting destroyed. People are like, this guy doesn't have relics, and very quickly some began to realize that you don't need relics to compete in this game if you have a strategy. So it took me, I don't know, probably I would say I was ramping up. I was starting to build for General Skywalker, and then Sith Eternal was released. And my Empire was all gear 12 because that's the highest you could go for Hoth. So that was when C was good too. So that took me a while, and once I got Sith Eternal, things just started going really quickly. Back when he was amazing.
Yeah. Not
trash.
Well, trash is a tough word. Yeah. But so the worst of the king of the pigs. How about that? Or the pig of the kings, maybe. I don't know. So, what's your focus? I mean, I know you talk about Wampa, and you're looking for what's the goal on your channel right now? I'm gonna get it wrong.
5,000 subscribers. Wampa will hit Relic 8, which to some people they're like, oh, you should have. I have 1 relic beyond Relic 7 that's not a GL requirement, and that's Pia at Relic 9, and that hurt. I don't have any other Relic 8s that are luxury.
Right. Well, let me encourage everybody to go. How many are you at right now? You're 4,000 something, right?
Yeah, like 4,100. So.
All right.
We're...
Everybody get over there and give a big subscribe to PhatPhil.
Absolutely, guys.
PHAT, pretty hot and tempting Phil. Little rush hour there for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we want to make him take his Wampa to Relic 8, which will make that Wampa, he'll be a big banging boy at that point. He'll be a big banging boy. I mean, I don't have much else to ask you. You're on top of things. You don't need any tips from me. Well, what are the big tips you're working on right now? I saw you release something today on Marin, and you're just generally on top of the game. But what are your big farming tips or game tips for folks right now?
So it really depends. I try to say that, because you do a lot better job where you've got like your account that's a little bit more in that mid game, and then you have like your hyperdrive account and you're free to play. So you're a lot more in touch with that, like what's actually happening at that early stage of the game. So I always try to say, if you're in that late game, your guild's doing Rise of the Empire and you're not farming Inquisitors, I just think that you're shooting yourself in the foot at this point, because like her or not, she's good, and even if they fix her, Reva's going to continue to be good. So those Inquisitors just make you, they're beyond Geonosians even at this point. Like, they're that good. And then if you're an early player, I think Hut Cartel is that next goal, that Executor, Hut Cartel Bounty Hunters, because you want Executor, and Jabba seems like he's just going to be sticking around for a very, very long time.
Yeah, but what about
that's kind of my...
Sorry, go ahead. What?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, I was gonna say, what about as an early player though? You're gonna get the Hut Cartel, but you still gotta get Jedi Knight Luke, and that's like, I mean, all the get stuff you gotta spend on that now, unless you're in Hoth territory battle. But then that hurts you for other stuff. I mean, what about that?
So for Wampa, there's the Galactic Bounties event that you can earn his shards for. And so one of the things that I tell a lot of the guys who follow like my guide is, you're going to build your bounty hunters early, because that's Executor's your first major farm. Well, bounty hunters get you the galactic bounties for Wampa. Mm-hmm. So that's going to save you all of that get one that you can use for Hermit Yoda. And then they get you the Millennium Falcon. They're going to get you Chewbacca. So they build all those things that get you towards building Jedi Knight Luke. And if your last holdup is Wampa and Hoda, I mean, you get into that get one, as long as you're not spending it on anything else, mm-hmm. you can get there pretty quickly. Everybody used to do it for Malak and General Skywalker. I think it's now that everyone's like, I need it for gear, but back in the day, I mean, you were saving it for everything.
Yeah. Well, they also get you a Rolo as well, so in the Galactic Bounties.
Oh, Rolo, yeah. And I think Captain Han is there too.
Han Solo, he is. I don't know what Captain Han is.
Oh, is it Han or Captain Han?
It's regular Han Solo, yeah, it's regular. Well, your bounty hunters are balling, man. Nice job here.
Yeah, we're currently I'm looking at it now, 220 of 330 for Jabba.
Nice.
So it's I think it's like 2 more days for me.
That's sweet, man. That's awesome. Well, I can't argue with the idea of bounty. I mean, bounty hunters get you so much, and you're right about I kind of, it's that thing where in practice, I'm getting the galactic bounties and I'm farming Wampa and farming Rolo, but in theory, it's always interesting to transfer something from practice to theory, and there's no way that one person can cover all the different theory in the game, because it's just too much of it.
Yep.
I mean, it goes on and on and on. And there was something else I was going to ask you, and just left my brain. Newt's too old on that one. Bounty hunters, galactic. Oh, I know. I was going to tell you something. So, you were talking about getting Wampa early and the Hoth territory battles. So back in the day on my original account, I made it a goal to get the Bounty Hunter achievement. Which was stupid. It was like, you had to kill like 100 Wampas or something like that. And It took me like a year and a half of dedicated farming to get it done, because about midway through, they got rid of Hoth territory. They went to Geo territory battles, and I wasn't going to hold myself back. And there were no more Wampas to kill anywhere.
Nope.
Because in Hoth territory battles, you're killing like 4 Wampas?
Yes.
Every month or something?
Yep.
Anyway, so I worked my brains out, and I got that. I've handed that account out, but that was just something there to share. So,
I got that in a day of Squad Arena with a friend.
Well, That's one way to do it too. Just wow, you load up a lot of Wampas in there. Then congratulations.
You use like DACA and zombie, and you just constantly kill zombie like until Wampa comes back. It was terrible, but that's the way to do it.
Excellent. That sounds like you know what? It's that kind of fun stuff to find out that that just makes the game a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna give you one more chance for final words. Give the channel a pitch here at the end.
Oh gosh, yeah. So the game is heading in a very interesting direction where I've been like debating making this video. So shout out, maybe this comes to fruition. But is Galactic Legend rushing dead at this point? That we're telling everybody go for Executor, and then with this new Crate Dragon raid coming out, and they're seeming like they're gonna rotate raids, that the Crate Dragon raid is not gonna be around for forever, that they're gonna rotate it with something else. And if that's the case, investing in a Galactic Legend keeps you locked into that faction. That right now, Kylo was the best answer because he's gonna solo all of those raids, he's good in every game mode. So I'm wondering if, with these new raids, their intention is Galactic Legends are now a lot longer of a farm because you want to get your Old Republic, and then maybe the next raid it's, Geonosians, and the next raid it's Night Sisters. Like, that's where my mind is kind of heading, that they want us to get away from these Galactic Legend rushes. So that's a very hot take, and I know people won't like to hear that, but Capital Games is always up to something.
Well, they got to keep the game going, so I think it's really interesting to think of, and I had not thought of it that way, but it does make some sense. I'm not willing to say Galactic Legend rushing is dead yet, but I think it's a really good point that if you're a new player, and it's why, you mentioned I started that new free-to-play account, because I really wanted to see what it was like right now, because, it's hard to know what the early game free-to-play farming is like unless you do it for a few months, and I really learned a lot. But yeah, I'm farming that Jedi Knight Revan team, because if you're getting ready for the Crate Dragon raid, you're not going to farm Tuskens or Jawas. You may have some Mandalorians, but that Old Republic team is the lowest hanging fruit that you can have to be ready for that raid at the beginning of the game. So, and trust me, I do roster reviews all the time, and nobody has that team, and that's probably why they're part of it. People have like Jedi Knight Revan Relic, and everybody else is gear 12, 11, 9, 8, whatever,
Oh, don't look at my Old Republic then.
All right, we're looking right now. This will be the end of the video, is me yelling at you about your Old Republic. And there it is. If you came on a roster review, you would hang on. I'm gonna pop it right now. Where is it? You're gonna get the Finish Your Farms meme. Here we go. Come on, Yoda.
You must
that's so funny. That is a perfect ending.
All right, I'll give it a try.
Hey,
No, try not.
Kitty.
Teams farming finished they must be. And there you go. I don't think you could hear that, but that was Yoda telling you that teams and farming finished they must be. So I guess you got your Mandalorians. I'm guessing since you have Candor stuff, you got a Mandalorian team at least, right?
Yeah, they beat Jedi Master Luke without Revan and stuff like that. Yeah,
I got you. All right, man. Well, PhatPhil, this was a lot of fun. I'm really glad to. We just met tonight, so it's really good to meet you and talk.
Absolutely.
I know. Yeah, I've been watching your videos and tuning into your Wampa-thon here. So everybody, again, hey, go subscribe to PhatPhil. That's PHAT Phil. Check him out. He's got a lot of great content. Just a good person overall, and you'll be a happy camper for it. And you can make him spend a bunch of relic stuff on his Wampa, and there's nothing wrong with making somebody do that. So. PhatPhil, thanks for joining me tonight, buddy.
Absolutely. Great. Thanks for having me, Noosh. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you again soon. And everybody out there, I hope you have a great day. And, of course, always remember, Nooch too good. So you're a Star Wars dad too, right?
Yep.
How old are your kids?
3, and she's 3.5. Our oldest is 3.5. She's our daughter. And then my youngest daughter, she's 2 months old.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I remember that. We had twins, so if I was in your situation at your age, I would have had twins as the younger ones.
Oh, man. Yeah, twins is... My wife, at first, she was like, oh, twins would be nice, like, get them out at once, and then we had our first, and she goes, nope.
No. Yeah, we had the twins, and then we had another one 8 years later, and it was like, oh, this is easy. We have not only just one baby, but we've got older boys to babysit now, too, so it was really easy.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is the toddler wants to like help, but like we're not good at holding the baby yet. You know,
I got you.
that's like the toughest. That's the toughest part.
That's good though. They get to learn that, and it's a really good experience. So.